Hello and great day to each and every one of you. It's good to be back with you once again in this battle for correction and redirection. Hey, if you like what I'm doing, why don't you go ahead and give me a thumbs up? If you really dig what I'm doing, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? It won't cost you a single dime. Hey, and while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and share this video with someone? It might help someone along the way. Well, for those who have been rocking with me for a little bit, you know this channel is all about correction and redirection. Correcting the way we are living our lives today and redirecting it so that we're on the path to success, on the path to being a positive influence on society as a whole. Well, today's message is, well, I'm going to say strictly, but today's message focus on the African American, Black, or either American African community, whichever way you like to say it. I don't want to offend anyone. Well, throughout history, we have seen, well, let's say, we have known the Black community to use such excuses as the man, excuses such as slavery, excuses such as Jim Crow, for being the foundational reasons the Black community as a whole seems to be so far behind in America. Now, I have no divine power. I don't truly know what is or what isn't true. I know what's true and what isn't true in my life personally, but not the Black community as a whole. Now, we have seen everything from conspiracies such as there are things put in products specifically meant, or let's say advertised toward Black people, such as menthol cigarettes, such as malt liquor, such as the chemicals that were put in hair products so that Black women could feel better about themselves by not actually, let's say, not having the hair that God actually gave them. Or we can look at fried chicken. Yes, fried chicken. Now, there are some who believe that, hey, why the reason for so many fried chicken franchises, businesses being put in the Black community was because there was something being put in the chicken. Now, we've heard all type of conspiracies, and whether some are true, we must accept the fact that things such as menthol cigarettes, malt liquor beer, hey, those items of consumption, they were advertised to Black people. Now, whether there was something in it, hey, that's a whole nother story. But what I want to talk about is the Black community's ability and willingness to control its own destiny. Now, it was, let's say, allegedly said, by J. Edgar Hoover, that the biggest threat to Black people, the biggest threat to America was Black progress. Now, you got to think about that. And for those who don't know who J. Edgar Hoover was, he was the famous, and some say infamous, director of the FBI. Now, whether you believe that to be true or not, that's up to you. But let's get back to the main thing, the main focus of today. The main focus is the Black community, the African American community, or the American African community controlling its own destiny. When I say controlling its own destiny, I mean financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Now, we've heard the complaints that it's so easy for so many people to come into this country and be given help to start places of businesses, specifically in the black community, knowing that they hate the black community. Now, I've heard person after person in the black community complain about such situations. I've heard it on platforms, I've heard it on everything you can think of. And the only question I have is why? Yes, why? Why are these businesses able to thrive in the black community if there is such a huge problem with the way these individuals treat the black community? So, if these businesses are thriving off of black people and they treat black people like crap, why do the black community continue to support these places? And another question, and yes, it is why. If this is true, if this is the way things actually is, why don't black people, African American people, American African people, however you want to say it, why don't we open up businesses in our own communities? Why don't we invest in our own community? And why is it when someone, a person of color, a black person, open up the very businesses that I'm talking about, why do we as a whole fail to support them? Hey, I'm just speaking truth. Now I know this might sting a little bit and it might hurt some people. But hey, we live in reality. This is where we're actually trying to correct and redirect. Here's an example. And I just want each and every one of you to think about this. And this is where we look at that, let's say that conspiracy where we're talking about the government putting crack cocaine in the black communities. Can anyone walk into your house, go into your refrigerator, and take what they want? Now just think about that. So, who let people, if the conspiracy is true, come into the black community and tell the black community, you're going to take these drugs, you're going to sell these drugs to your own people, you're going to destroy your own community, and you're going to be happy about it? Now, like I say, I'm not one to push out a bunch of conspiracy theories. I'm not one to get mad at every individual in the black community. Because hey, there's one thing I know. There are plenty of heroes doing all they can to raise up the black community, to get the black community out of the abyss and onto a brighter day, a brighter future. Not only do I see these heroes on a daily basis, I work with these heroes on a daily basis. I give my all in all to actually bring about what I would think some people would want to see happen: black progress. Hey, I'm just one individual trying to do my best to make this world a better place. So, to all of those in the black community, take a look in the mirror. Take a look around your community. Go ahead and make up in your mind and your heart that today is going to be that day that you decide to make my community better. And to all of those who are hell-bent on destroying the black community, and I'm not talking about any other race, I'm talking about individuals actually in the black community. And yes, there are plenty of those who are hell-bent on destroying the black community. Take a look in the mirror. Say to yourself today, you will change. You will be a better person. You will stop doing the devil's work and actually get on the track for progress. Well, that's my little spiel for the day. The Gift of Fear, a great book. A book that I feel everyone in the Black community should actually read. It's not just about what you might think. It's a book actually about how fear can be a gift to help you to survive in this world that is full of danger. Because I know there are plenty of you in the Black community have seen things that have happened in the Black community that have actually had you afraid. You were actually thinking this is going to destroy us all. But you didn't use that gift to make that change. Well, I see you've made a couple of what you think to be powerful moves on the board. Let me see if you understand this. That little castle of that king, not a big move, but let's see what you do with that.